And now, Mike's thoughts.
Jamar Chase is out here acting like we don't got HD cameras in 2025. First he's off like, I didn't do it. I never opened my mouth to that guy. I never spit on Jalen Ramsey. He was already to stand on that lie forever. Die on that hill, as they like to say. Then the video hits. The league takes a look at it. Suspension gets upheld. $500,000 game check gone, and suddenly it's like, what did I do wrong? My passion for the game is no excuse. There's no place for it in our sport or life than disrespectful. Oh, Jamar Chase. Now there's no place for it. Now it's about character. Now it's about the audacity. Come on, man. Here's what bugs me. It's not even just the spit anymore. Everybody knows spitting on someone is the lowest level of low. That's not trash talk. That's not chippy football. That's straight disrespect as a human being. Jalen Ramsey remax, throws a punch, gets tossed, gets fined. Chase sits at home, loses over $500,000, watches his team goes out there with him and lose 26-20 to the Patriots. All of that is bad enough. But then you try to lie about it. Then you sit here and try to say, I didn't do it. You had every chance to own it in the moment. After the game, reporters asked you. You doubled down and said you never did it. The next day, you declined to talk about it. You hide. And only when the video is everywhere, only then when the NFL says, yeah, that suspension is sticking, only when your wallet gets smoked, then you release a carefully worded statement where you don't even mention Jalen Ramsey by name. You apologize to everyone in the Steelers organization. Simply put, guys, that's not leadership. Simply put, that is damage control. You can say you should strive to lead with the character and authenticity, but he says, yeah, I lost my cool. I spit on him. That's fine on me. That's not who I am, and I take whatever comes with it, says Jamar Chase. But you know what? You know what would have never happened? People would still have ripped you, but you at least respected the honesty, right? Instead, you get caught in 4K. Then you try to pretend like your passion just overwhelmed you and you never seen the light. Nah, the only light you saw was a red one with a camera with a negative sign on your paycheck. Let's not act like this camera came out of nowhere. Since 2021, you are near the top of the league with unsportsmanlike and taunting penalties. This is not a pattern. DK, Pickens, and Chase, that is your company. Elite talent, elite production, and elite dumbass penalties. At some point, this is just how he plays. This is the type of person Jamar Chase is. Guys, ask the Bengals how fun it is playing a huge game without their two-time Pro Bowler because he couldn't control himself. Ask Zach Taylor, who enjoyed fielding a suspension question instead of talking about the Ravens prep. But the quote we get from Coach, we're moving ahead full speed. Of course you are. You have to. He's a superstar. You can't bench him forever. But inside the building, somebody better be looking up him eye to eye and say this cannot happen again. So yeah, Jamar Chase, I'm glad you finally said it was wrong. I'm glad you apologized, but let's be real. The apology is late. It's safe, and it's happening because you got caught and punished, not because you woke up with a guilty conscience. You spit on a man, you lied about it, and you're sorry about it. The question is not whether you're sorry about it or not. The question is, are you a piece of shit at the end of the day? Because he is a piece of shit at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation! Rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Guys, welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you're rolling with us today. Guys, before we jump into today's action, guys, head over to manhourradio.com. That's where we find all the exclusive merchandise, the freshest of the freshest blog, and everything's happening with the show. If you're rocking the Man Hour, guys, that is the spot to do it. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, of course, subscribe as well so you never miss a live interactive show. That's the easiest way to stay plugged into it. But if you want the full Man Hour experience, guys, become a Pigskin Pundit. That is our members-only community where you get free entry to the weekly NFL pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merchandise, and bonus live streams that only the Pigskin Pundits get. So if you want about the next level access, guys, join the squad today. And remember, this is a live interactive show, so drop your thoughts, drop your opinions, and your hottest of the hottest takes in the comments down below, because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, Mr. Old Man River. He says, what up, butt? What up, Old Man River? Guys, Old Man River is a Pigskin Pundit.
Pigskin Pundit. Get you some.
Guys, be like Old Man River Live and hit that subscribe button down below and hit that membership tab down below, because we got some hoodies heading out to the Pigskin Pundits. They were officially ordered on Saturday, finalizing addresses tonight once the live show is over. Bada bing, bada boom, guys. Free entry to NFL Pick'ems, nice brand new hoodie, and only the bonus live streams that Pigskin Pundits get. But guys, we got a great show for you today. We had a wild Week 12. The Dallas Cowboys come back and whoop that ass, baby! The Kansas City Chiefs are still the kings, and the Detroit Lions, we don't know what to do with our hands, Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, we don't know what you are, but they've been exposed. They've been exposed. But guys, we have to start with the title segment of today's show. And Man Hour Nation, buckle up. Buckle up, because the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys, a rivalry game, a statement game, and maybe the clearest preview of yet what the Dallas Cowboys can be if they slide into the postseason. Because I am telling you right now, Man Hour Nation, if the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs, if the Dallas Cowboys slide into the playoffs, they're going to be one of the most dangerous teams in the entire NFC playoffs. They're going to be the most dangerous team heading to the NFL Super Bowl. But are they the team that nobody wants to see in January? Guys, I'm going to give you my thoughts, but let's break down this one, because this matchup, the Philadelphia Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys, had everything. Philly comes out hot, jumps to a big lead early. Looks like they're about to run it down to the Dallas Cowboys' throat in their own building. Then, for the final 41 minutes of football, the Eagles do absolutely nothing on the scoreboard. They scored 21 quick points, and after that, nothing, nada, Jills get shut out by the Dallas Cowboys' great defense. And this is where the whole conversation flips from the same old Dallas Cowboys to, hold up, this is a real playoff problem for the rest of the NFC. Hold up, the Dallas Cowboys are the real deal. Guys, the old Dallas Cowboys teams, when they got punched in the mouth early, they folded. This version, yeah, they may have bent a little bit. They may get popped in the mouth. They may have a little blood running on the face. They gave us some big plays. They gave us some early shots. Then the defense digs in and slams the doors on one of the most talented offenses in the entire NFL. Guys, this is not a fluke. This is a trend. The Dallas Cowboys defense is the real deal. Back-to-back weeks, back-to-back stout defense. But let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles there for a second, guys, because this is what happened on that side of the ball that matters for this conversation. The Eagles are living in extremes. One quarter, they look unstoppable. The next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they can't even move the chains. They go from 21 points in a blink of an eye to long stretches where they can't even get a first down. You saw it in this game after that hot start. They had to stretch for 4 drives with 1 first down and barely any yards. And then late in the game, every time they start to get the ball rolling, something goes wrong. Offensive pass interference, false starts, penalties wiping out big gains, and a missed field goal. And then that killer, Saquon Barkley, putting the ball on the ground in the fourth quarter. This is just not one bad series, guys. This is an identity problem for the Philadelphia Eagles. They have no consistency in the offense, period, point blank. The numbers back it up. They're near the bottom of the league in success rate, which basically measures how often you stay on schedule and move the ball in manageable chunks. Last season, they were at least middle of the pack. They were nice and average, nice moving the ball down the field, steady. But this year, they're living on explosive plays and praying that something hits. The run game, it's falling off a cliff. Last year, Saquon Barkley was riffing off chunk runs. This season, the explosive runs have almost vanished. He has only had a couple carries of 20 plus he's only had a couple games of 20 plus carries all year long. And in this game, 10 carries into 22 yards. That's it. Your MVP, the man, the myth, the legend, 2,000 yards, man himself, 22 yards? That's less than 2 yards a carry in light or neutral boxes. And for a player who was Offensive Player of the Year, this is brutal. This is tough to watch. And oh my God, the Philadelphia Eagles just suck right now. And yes, the part of it is on the Philadelphia Eagles scheme, play calling, injuries on the offensive line, etc. I get it. But you got to give the Dallas Cowboys their flowers, baby. The Cowboys defense showed up in bunches of 5-man fronts, changed the picture, and Philly had no real answers. They tried to adjust personnel. They tried extra linemen. It did nothing. By the fourth quarter, they straight up abandoned the run. That is how you break an offense mentality. And that is where we get to why the Dallas Cowboys team is so dangerous. This is where we get to the Dallas Cowboys are the real deal. This is where we get to the Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl bound, baby! Since they traded for Quentin Williams, since Quentin Williams has landed in Dallas, the entire tone of the defense has changed. You saw it against the Raiders, where he wrecked drives and helped get their offensive coordinator fired up by Monday. And then against Philly, he did not have to blow every single play up to affect the game. He set the tone up front. He knifed into the backfield, early tackles for losses, forced double teams at times, and even when he didn't get a tackle, he created clean looks for the rest of the front seven. And more importantly, guys, the Eagles knew he was there. That changes how you play calls. And when you add a legit game record inside into a defense that's already has a pass rusher and playmakers in the back end, you know just how good and how uncomfortable the rest of the offense is going to be. And here's the scary part. The rest of the NFC. This defense is still gelling. Overshown just got back. Quentin Williams just got there. New pieces, new roles, new look. If this is what they look like now, just after 2 weeks of work, imagine what this unit's going to look like bumped by wild card weekend. If they stay healthy and keep stacking reps, the Cowboys do not have to be perfect on offense anymore. They just have to be themselves because this defense is going to dominate in the postseason. And that is the beauty of this version of the Dallas Cowboys. The offense is not the problem. The offense is why it will scare people in January. Dak Prescott is that dude. You saw it in this game. He makes clutch throws. He keeps drives alive. He uses his legs when he has to and leads the fourth quarter rally. He even got into the end zone himself, late to tie it up. CeeDee Lamb, yeah, of course, he had some frustrating drops. A little frustrating drop. He doesn't know how to catch the ball against the Philadelphia Eagles. But they got George Pickens. And when you add George Pickens into the mix, guys, it's simply unfair. A top 5 receiver like CeeDee Lamb, a top 10 receiver like with the George Pickens, and then you had Dak Prescott. Ooh, baby. That trade of George Pickens might end up being the biggest steal Jerry Jones has ever pulled off in a very, very long time. Yeah, he sent a couple picks to Pittsburgh and got back a legit number 1 level receiver to pair with CeeDee Lamb. Since that Packers shootout in week 4, Pickens has been one of the best receivers in football in yards per game and yards per route. In this game, he was the closer. George Pickens is the man, the myth, the legend. He caught every throw his way. 9 targets, 9 catches, 150 yards on the score. He won early in the red zone, then hit a massive deep shot and a double move. Then on a final drive, he burns the Eagles again on a catch and runs that sets up the walk-off game field for Aubrey. Guys, last year the Eagles fans were bragging about how they had the best wide receiver duo in the conference. You can argue now that title has moved to Dallas. So now picture this in the playoff. Dak playing confident, chest out. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens stressing your corners. A physical running game and a defense with Quentin Williams and Overshown and completely pinning the airs back. You really want to see that wild card weekend? I do not think so. Now, to be fair, both teams were playing sloppy in this one. Turnovers on both sides, missed kicks, penalties all over the place. Dallas caught up in the simple handoff. Dak threw a pick in the end zone. Aubrey missed a 50-yard field goal. The Eagles had 2 fumbles and a bunch of flags and key moments and the missed long ficking field goal as well. So no, this was not some perfect blueprint performance, but sometimes it's exactly the kind of game that tells you what a team really wants it. In a messy, emotional rivalry game where both teams are making mistakes, which side settles in and finds a way to a way to close it? In this one, the answer was the Dallas Cowboys. That is growth. That is a difference. Guys, Man Hour Nation, guys, let me ask you this question. When the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs, will they be the most dangerous team in the NFL? My answer is absolutely yes. The offense is already built to win in January. They can throw, they can run, they have multiple star weapons, and they have a quarterback, a top 5 quarterback in Dak Prescott, who can make big-time throws and big-time plays when the lights are bright. The defense is catching up with Quentin Williams to add to that front, along with Overshown being back. They're going to be very, very scary. Guys, if the Dallas Cowboys get in, they're just not another team. They are the team that can walk into your stadium, score 30, and make your offense look broken for 2.5 quarters. You don't want that smoke in January. But Man Hour Nation, the question is simple. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys are the most dangerous team in the NFC and they sneak into the playoffs? Are you buying it or not? Guys, now this is a live interactive show, so drop your comments down below. I want to hear you and your opinions. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time right at youtube.com. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below. Let's get into the conversation. RBT Willie Jet says the fall of Saquon is definitely being overshadowed by A.J. Brown noise for sure. Real ball talk with Willie Jack. As I agree with you to an extent, the play calling in Philadelphia is hot dog water. It's dog poo-poo. I'm trying not to curse. My New Year's resolution, even though it's not New Year's, I'm trying not to curse. The Eagles play calling is terrible. Every Philadelphia Eagles board that I'm on, because we have groups, right? Over at facebook.com//Man Hour. We have our NFC East groups. We have our Philadelphia Eagles groups, right? I have made those groups right there. And people want the offensive coordinator from Philadelphia to be fired yesterday. The minute that game was over, they're like, tick-tock, why is our offensive coordinator not fired yet? The play calling in Philadelphia has been horrendous. Now, I am not saying that Saquon Barkley is still the man, the myth, the legend. I'm not saying Saquon Barkley is bad either. But I am saying the man's got 10 carries. The dude rushed for 2,000 yards last season. The dude looks the best he's ever looked in his entire NFL career. He's touching the ball 10 times versus a rival on the road. What are you doing? You had a 21-point lead. Milk that clock, milk it down, run Saquon Barkley into the ground, baby. This loss gives every Dallas Cowboys fan momentum. This loss gives the Dallas Cowboys hope, pride, and pump in their chest. When the Dallas Cowboys lose on Thanksgiving, they're going to come crashing back down a little bit, but then they're going to go on a streak. Boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, 9-6-1. No, they'll be 8-6-1, right? No, yeah, 9-6-1. 9 wins is going to get them in. 9 wins this season's going to get them in. They're going to knock out the Detroit Lions. What is that? T.I. Dirtbag 9877. Are the Vikings regretting with JJ? Dirtbag 9877. About 5 or 6 segments down, we are going to talk about JJ McCarthy. We're going to talk about the faults of the old Minnesota Vikings. But I can tell you, I can give you a little spoiler alert. Let me give you a little spoiler alert. The answer is yes. JJ McCarthy is a bust. Bust. And, oh, by the way, he's a bust. But, guys, the question for this round, are the Dallas Cowboys playoff bound, and are they the most dangerous team in the playoffs? But, Man Hour Nation, hear me loud and hear me clear on this one. The Kansas City Chiefs are not done. They're not dead. They're not finished. And the rest of the AFC keeps pretending like this team is washed. This is exactly how you wake up in February and realize Patrick Mahomes just crashed another Super Bowl party. Now, guys, all week long, this Colts versus Chiefs matchup, it was treated like a referendum in Kansas City. People were saying Patrick Mahomes is playing for a playoff life. Talking like if the Kansas City Chiefs lost this one, the dynasty is over. The window's closed. Everybody's going home. Was that a little overblown? Yes, it was, baby. The Kansas City Chiefs still had some runaway, even with the loss. But yeah, the idea of the Chiefs falling below 500 this late in the season with Mahomes at quarterback felt almost unthinkable. Thinking, this is how high the standard is. On the other side, it was a measuring stick for Indy. They went all in, right? Guys, think about it. The Indianapolis Colts went all in. Traded 2 first-round draft picks for Sauce Gardner. Got Shavarius Ward back and handed Lou their fully loaded secondary. This was supposed to be the new age shutdown defense, and that could finally slow down the Chiefs and prove the Colts belong in the very top of the AFC. And for a while, it looked like the script was heading toward another frustrating Chiefs loss. For a while, it looks like the Indianapolis Colts were the man, the myth, the legend. For a while, it looks like the NFL world was saying the Chiefs dynasty is over. But here's what makes the Kansas City Chiefs so dangerous. Even on a night where it's not the clean, not pretty, where the opponents play conservative and the game feels like it's slipping away, they just kept coming. They kept hanging around. They kept stacking first downs, and they kept banging. They kept banging, and they kept banging for more. You look up at Patrick Mahomes, and he has the ball in overtime, and your season is on fire. Guys, this game told us a lot about the Colts, too. Daniel Jones came into one of the most whispering MVPs. The numbers early in the season were insane, but the last few weeks he started showing cracks, taking sacks, turning the ball over, looking more and more like New York Giants Daniel Jones than an unstoppable Colts juggernaut Daniel Jones. The Chiefs defense walked into that stadium and basically said, all right, it's time for you to prove it, baby. Did Daniel Jones implode? No. He did protect the ball. He took less sacks, kept things steady, but steady is how you bury Patrick Mahomes. Playing steady is not how you bury the Kansas City Chiefs. He barely finished over 5.5 yards per attempt. He did not take a single shot downfield. He missed open receivers in key moments. That is not a guy who you mortgage 2 first-rounders and to protect the other side of the ball. Then you look at the coaching. Shea Steichen has built a reputation on an aggressive guy. Go for it on 4th down. Push the edges. Stop on people's throats. Against Kansas City Chiefs, he got a little bit conservative. Delay of games and punt on 4th and short. Kicked field goals on 4th and manageable in the red zone. Punt in overtime on 4th down. On 3 and out, your defense has already been on the field for 79 snaps, knowing you are one Mahomes a drive away from going home. You do not gift wrap free win probabilities to the Kansas City Chiefs. Expect to Patrick Mahomes in 4th quarter and overtime. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. 9 plays, 1 handoff to JT. That's male practice. All of that to set up a table for Patrick Mahomes to do exactly what he's done in his entire career. Hang around, wait you out, and then rip your heart out late. Ask the Buffalo Bills, 13 seconds. But then let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, guys. On the surface, 23 points and an overtime win doesn't scream unstoppable juggernaut. But when you peel it back, this was a nightmare for the Colts defense. The Kansas City Chiefs racked up 33 first downs. That is the most by any team in a game this season. When other offense hit that mark, they usually hang nearly 40 points on the board. You got the Chiefs only got 23, and they still won. Why? Because the Colts went very specific game plan. Lou trusted Sauce Gardner, trusted Ward, played man coverage on nearly 2/3 of Mahomes dropbacks, and dared Andy Reid to run the ball into the light boxes all night with Kareem Hunt. And the Chiefs said, fine, we'll run the ball. Kareem Hunt ran the ball 30 times, a career high. He only had run the ball over 10 yards, but the whole idea was bend, do not break. Make them work. Hope they mess up. No explosive plays, no bombs over the top, just long drives where maybe a penalty, a sack, or a fumble, and a missed assignment kills the drive. And here's the thing. Even with that plan limiting explosiveness, the Kansas City Chiefs still created 6 separation drives of 50 yards or more. They moved the ball at will between the 20s. They had a touchdown wiped away by a face mask, another scoring chance stole by a fumble, and then time ran out on them on the end of the second half in the red zone. On top of that, special teams penalties kept them back up too. Their average starting position was at the 20-yard line. Only one drive started past their own 30. You gave the most offense. You gave up the most offense, that field possession, that game script, that match coverage, and they crumbled. The Chiefs kept grinding. That is championship football. That is playoff football. That's Super Bowl bound football. And when we talk about the closer, Mahomes was not perfect. Hasn't been all season long. He threw an ugly interception on RPO early. The Colts pressured him on roughly half of the dropbacks in the fourth quarter and overtime. The pocket was muddy all game long. And yet, when it mattered, he did what he always does. On that late drive, Noah Gray has to catch a pass with his legs to set a 4th down and 3. Most teams do not recover from that chaos. Mahomes calmly converts to Rashid Rice. Then in overtime, the Colts give him the ball, and you just knew what was coming. 3rd down, money moment. Mahomes rips a huge throw to Xavier Worthy to set up a Harrison Buckner walk-off field goal. Ball game. Chiefs win. Entire AFC exhales at the same time. They're like, shit, here we go again. This team has been losing every close game this season. All that good one-score luck from 2024 has swung the other way in 2025. At some point, the math was going to flip back in their favor. If you are the rest of the conference, the rest of the AFC, you do not want that flip to start right now. You do not want the Kansas City Chiefs to get hot right now. And that's exactly what it's doing. Guys, keep asking yourself. You are a division winner, hosting a playoff game on Wild Card Weekend, and you see Mahomes and Andy Reid walk into your building after a season where everyone spent 4 months calling them washed, doubting them, and saying the dynasty is over. I promise you, you do not want to see them. Guys, Man Hour Nation, let me ask you this question. Are the Chiefs still a legit Super Bowl contender after this game? Or are they a team you do not want to look for at a grady?